That's the plan. So this is round 4 of a vintage league. We're playing Treacherous Tinker. Got a nice little opening hand here. Pretty good against non-shops decks. Non-bazaar decks probably as well. Um, we're currently 3-0, trying to get maybe a back-to-back 5-0. That would be pretty dope. Would definitely help wash away the sour taste of the 2-5 vintage challenge we just played. I'm about to snap off a mental misstep on that. That's big value against PO. Definitely down for that. Oh, they just have their own mental misstep. Cool. All right, so there was no value gained. Hopefully they don't have a Tinker follow-up. But we get to see what they have for a follow-up because we have a Probe. We have a Tinker follow-up. Nope, but they have a PO for 2. Not bad. But we have a Flusterstorm. Ooh. Okay. So if they go land Opal, we can counter that. So if they go land Opal Mox, can we counter that with Fluster still? They hit the Mox? You're a monster. That's insanity. They got me. Man, PO's broken deck, huh? This deck is probably fine. Probably not great. Wait, it's not jamming? Going for the end of turn? I guess we could... We just have no good plays, though. Our plays are not good against this. I don't have any options. Maybe I'm supposed to, like, Perilous Research into a Force of Will. I mean, opponent played pretty Wait, how did they have this? Didn't we know their hand? We knew that this was in their hand and this was in their hand? I'm confused. I feel like I have to Perilous Research into a Force of Will, right? Like, I can't let the PO player just resolve PO for 3. Right? Maybe I can. Ooh, they're playing red too. Oh, they just didn't PO? Oh, that's right. We know their last card is PO. What is this discipline? I mean, this discipline is really good for me. I'm very happy that they decided not to kill me, but I'm very confused. Yeah, opponent just deciding not to kill me is quite good for the outlook of this game. I think what I'm gonna do is keep holding up. If they go for it here, then we can Perilous Research in response, sacking the Ruby, generate some Storm. What is happening? They're just trying to get a Force or a Pyroblast or something? I would just be jamming on my end step. I'm very confused. Very, very confused. Should I be Perilous Researching an end of turn here? Probably, because I need to start getting towards this dig through time. Okay. Sack a Ruby. And Crypt. So now I have dig through time. So now we can almost get to Force of Will. Possible. I don't think we're supposed to like play out an Oko because that stops us from digging and flustering when I can dig right now and fluster. So I can also Assassin's Trophy a thing to have them draw less cards, which would be pretty good as well, I think. That's also a reasonable line. Having them draw 2 off this PO is like pretty good value, I think. So I might hit the what's the best play? So if I dig, I have 3 Storm, so I'm short. It'll only be 4 copies. If I Assassin's Trophy, it's similar, but I could also... I should just start by digging, right? Seems like that makes the most sense. And if they have Pyroblast, it ends up going really well for me. So I did find a Force of Negation, but that is not the right card here. I think I'm still taking it, very likely. I think we just take, like, Negation and Treacherous Blessing, very likely. Seems pretty reasonable. So currently I can't storm enough here. So what I think I'm going to do is I am just going to go for an Assassin's Trophy on the Pearl. That way, if they pick this up, then the Opal is turned off. Well, maybe I am supposed to hit this Mana Vault, because that'll give them less mana for a Flusterstorm later. Yeah, let's hit the Mana Vault. If they just have a like a something after all of this, then obviously it's a kind of painful for us, but I mean I can't do much about that. All right, so they're gonna get to divination here, which is not the end of the world for us. And we still have a backup negation for if they like go for a combo on their turn. They just drew Ancestral off the 2 cards. I mean, oh man, this is just not my day. Not good. That's so sick. It's so good. It's so good. They cast draw 2 and then they found it Ancestral, so they drew 3 more. Now they have 7 cards in hand. Oh, and I'm sure they're gonna like do something crazy with Pyroblast backup. I don't know, man. I tried my best, right? Like, did my best. What more you want from me? What more you want from me, Mr. Vintage? Oh, they found their Metalcraft. So they have 4 cards outside of the cards we don't know. If they found any counter magic, they protect whatever spell they have here. They did play pretty disciplined before, though, so maybe they'll play around a possible negation. I'm not sure. It's a little unfortunate that our dig through time didn't hit a force of will, because if we had countered that PO, we probably just would have won, I assume, but I think it was no, Fluster was dead. Fluster was very dead. Fluster is a completely dead card. Wow, they drew Force of Will Yagwell. All right, we lost. No, I don't agree. I think Fluster was basically 100% a dead card, and I would rather than not do that. Also, like, I think just digging there is like easily the best play. They just hit really. They hit really well off their 2 card PO. Like it's sometimes that happens. Yeah, I think we just got fairly unlucky. I'm gonna take out Tinker, and I'm gonna take out a Gilded Goose and a Spyglass. Yeah, I mean, I think they should play around Force of Negation, but they shouldn't have played it as like they waited a really long time, and I think they shouldn't have. But I think playing around Negation is perfectly fine. I don't mind that at all. I'm gonna bring in 2 trophies. And this should be fine for the rest of it. Maybe a claim is better than a tracker here. Should be fine. I really think we were like, I mean, when opponent should have just cast the PO on like the very first upkeep, I think, or the very first end step. But when they didn't cast the PO right away, felt like we were actually pretty favored. I think we just needed our dig through time to be any cards that mattered, and it just wasn't any cards that mattered. So, why is this hand so bad? If this was any other land, I swear, like if it was any other land. Okay, this is perfectly. This is like way better, right? This hand's really good. I do have to put away the Academy probably though, which is a little awkward, but it's not the end of the world in the stack. So if I draw into Flusterstorm here, it's pretty good. Off of a Treacherous Blessing. It's just like strictly better PO. No, they have force for it. Well, I got nothing, chat. And so ends the win streak. Island Ancestral. Okay. Mox, Tinker. Come on, Mox, Tinker. Okay. Yeah, I just don't think this trap is. I mean, we actually have hardcast trap if we live, I guess. So maybe it's not the end of the world. Maybe we get to play magic. It's possible. All right, what do we get? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Perilous Research. I'm not going to cast this yet because I want to be able to play hardcast trap. I think it's kind of important. And if I don't hit a blue source, then I can't. End of turn, we'll probably just research on off the ruby. It does leave us to a PO for 2 here, but I think that's fine. We got to advance somehow. Okay, this is good. I am much less likely to get PO for 2 here. If they go like Opal PO, that'd be really, really strong for us. We'll just trap them. All right, Perilous Research. Sacking, okay. Sacking Ruby. This is good. It's good. Okay, this is good as well. Can I sequence this in a way that makes it so I can hold up things better? Not really. No matter what, I have to hold up trap off of Lotus. Maybe they'll force this Uriel. Nope. Okay. All right, I'm F6'd. Let's go to the next turn. I have an active trap. I just need to draw spells, basically. If I draw any draw spell, then I get to make a cat, and I start, climbing ahead here. I'm not in a bad spot. I'm not going to lie. Opponent had to force my Treacherous Blessing, which is pretty good for us. They've been stuck on lands. I don't think I'm supposed to counter the Brainstorm, but I could see a world where I wanted to counter the Brainstorm, but I really don't want to. I mean, maybe it's greedy not to use my Lotus, but I don't want to use my Lotus if I don't have to. And then if they Brainstorm lock themselves, it's actually really, really good for us. So this is probably fine to let resolve. Did they Brainstorm lock themselves? So they did Brainstorm lock themselves. What do we got? Time Walk. Yeah, that one resolves. Definitely not fighting over that. I guess if they have like Tinker Pyro, that's something that kills us, but that's a guy to do. Is a guy to do. All right, Mox. Do you have Mox PO Pyro? Time to find out. If they have Mox PO Pyro, like whatever. Can't do much about it. Yep, they have it. That's insane. It's insane. It's so insane. I just can't. I can't. So insane. That's a pretty good Brainstorm from my opponent. Only hits. All right, so opponent could still draw 3 and brick here, kind of like we did. 2 unknowns in hand. They bricked. They might have force though, so it makes it a little difficult. Any draw spell? Oh no, didn't hit any draw spell. Kind of unfortunate. I want to play this in case I draw another land and have to sanctuary. I guess if they whiff again and we draw a draw spell and they don't have a force, it's pretty bad for us. It's really, really hard for us to win from this situation. They have to just like brick forever, basically, which is kind of impossible. Yep, they hit they hit Mentor. Okay, I mean Mentor is technically beatable for us right now. It's not really beatable. We have like mini Mentor. All right. I mean, they have nothing else. Clearly, they might have force, but we just need a draw spell. We just need a draw spell. I can't, chat. I just can't. I want to play Magic, but Magic doesn't want to let me play today. All right, the good news is we have Broken Mystic Sanctuary, so we automatically get a draw spell next turn. Bad news is they probably have Force of Will. Or if they hit any spell this turn that draws a card, we probably dead. Oh, that can't be good. They're tapping Mana Vault. That can't be good. It's just Tinker. Oh, Snap PO. Okay, cool. All right, well, It's just not cooperating tonight. It's just not a magic day. Not a magic day. Not a magic day. All right, one more. Let's try one more time. I don't actually think PO is that bad of a matchup for this deck. We don't have that many hate cards for it, but pretty reasonable. All right, SP